Hello, hello.
Hi, Beata.
How are you? How are you tonight? How is Slovenia?
Tonight I'm great because we have opened restaurants also inside on Monday.
Great.
So
Important date in all Europe for gastronomy.
Exactly, and I know that it's first time after 2 months that we gathered together with some friends in a very good restaurant in Ljubljana. So I'm sitting here in this room. They are in the other, waiting to be served.
All
So yeah, great fun, great. How are you? How is Wine Avenue team? How is your son? How is Matthias?
It's been a difficult time for all of us because Horeca is a very important group of clients for us. So the last 2 months were very difficult, and we are also very happy that all the restaurants and bars opened again.
Okay.
Slowly, customers are coming out, guests are coming inside restaurants. We're hoping that towards the summer, when the weather is getting better, there will be more and more guests. And also our wines and your wines, of course, will be on all Polish restaurant tables. So,
let's salute to this. Na zdrowie.
This, absolutely, salute. First salute tonight.
Yes.
Yes. So, Gašper, for our guests who are with us, I have to introduce you. This program is called MISTRZ I BEATA, which means Master and Beata. So obviously you are my master tonight, the champion.
Thank you.
So it's very important for everybody to understand why you are in this life, why we are talking together tonight. So for everybody, Gašper Čarman is a man of wine in Slovenia. To start with, the winner of the champion of sommeliers in championships in 2013 and 2015. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Also a man who is from three generations. You are present in the wine industry, in the restaurant business, because your parents and grandparents already were restaurant owners. And you are also running your own vineyard with your own beautiful brand, Gasper Wines, with fish, which we love. Perfect for the summer.
Thank you, Beata.
Especially for the summer, for the spring, but not only. They are perfect all year round, actually. So, have I said everything? You are absolutely a person who knows everything about wines, and you are a man of Slovenian wines, I would say, for sure.
That is a great honor for me to hear those words. The truth is, I love wine a lot. Wine is definitely my passion. As you mentioned, me and my sister, because we still run our restaurant business, are the third generation, and I fell in love in wine quite early. I was part of the grandparents' restaurant since I was, 3 years old. I remember running around the tables and to change the ashtrays. That was my first task in our industry. My granddad allowed me to change ashtrays on the tables because at that time people smoked a lot. You can imagine. So yeah, and then then also Vino came, the distribution part of the business, and then the last edition since 2013, Gašper Wines, which I'm very glad and honored that you represent them in Polish market. And we have very good time whenever I'm visiting you in Warsaw, either on your fair or some clients visit. So yes, but it's definitely, it better than me probably, when you fell in love in wine, when you go into this industry and when you feel the industry, then I think it's deal done. You can't go away. I don't want to go away, never, ever.
Don't want to go away, first of all.
Don't worry, that's for sure.
Good. Gašper, so first I think what would be very interesting for us to know in Poland and for our who are definitely all wine lovers, but I don't think we know in general too much about wines, about Slovenian wines.
Okay.
They are still I would say, in the rising position. So they are still becoming popular. And I'm sure everybody would like to know a little bit about the history of winemaking in Slovenia and about how it has evolved just shortly till present, till today.
So definitely we have a long tradition. You know that the wine was born in Georgia, and when wine and wine as a plant traveled from Georgia up north, definitely stopped in Slovenia before went to, let's say, Italy, France, Spain, much more renowned wine countries in the moment. And there are some facts that shows that already 2000 years ago there was wine in Slovenia, especially in Goriška Brda. I can speak more about Goriška Brda, where all these vineyards are from and where the wine comes from. And the crucial moment came when Slovenia got independent in 1991, where a lot of small producers in western part of Slovenia, so Goriška Brda and Vipava, really tried to follow their colleagues from Italy. The benchmark was definitely Italian producers from across the border. And what was smart, I believe, in those years from owners at that time, that they let wine estates, their farms, to their kids, to their sons, which were at that time I see here Kristancic, I see Ščurek name as a comment, and then Marjana Simcica. There were a generation of 20, 22, 23 years old guys which really wanted to show something. They wanted to achieve something. And from that moment on, we have this quality progress, let's say like this. Not quantity, but quality progress, which really now puts Slovenia on the wine map that I believe it deserves since the early days.
Great. So, and what does it look like today? How has it evolved? Are you into some more indigenous grapes? Are you more into international grapes? Is it balanced? Are you into natural winemaking? And what's the trend today?
So, fact is that, let's say, we are combining indigenous, where Rebula is probably the most popular, but you have others like Zelen, you have Šipon or Furment, Pinela and other varieties, but Rebula is probably leading the way. We are combining that with international varieties which grows in Slovenia, like Sauvignon Blanc a lot, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, of course, Bordeaux blend, Cab Merlot, Cab Franc.
Pinot Grigio as well, yeah? Pinot
Grigio is definitely one of the most important white varieties, especially in Goriška Brda. And I believe the position or Goriška Brda as wine area is the one to produce good Pinot Grigio. That's my opinion, you know. Also, natural wine movement is quite strong, which I'm not big fan of. So I'm a fan of good wine in first place, you know. If it's made ecologically, even better, but it needs to be clean. It needs to be drinkable. It needs to be, you know, pleasant. But
that's what
it needs to smell nice.
And smell nice, yeah.
And in natural wines, in this category, you have some wines which are brilliant, which are superb. But then you have also a lot of them which doesn't smell nice, but people still say it's natural. I'm not a fan of that. I want that people, when they drink Gašper wines or any other wine from Slovenia, they need to drink good. That's my first point.
Exactly. That's your role. That's the role of the wine, to interfere a little bit in the natural process of fermentation and of maturing the wine. So, I mean, that's where your role, that's what your role is for.
And also, you know, this is not called natural wine, but it's made like it always wine was made, and the vine plant was treated since centuries. So and people didn't use pesticides, they didn't use herbicides. You know, we just want to use physics, not chemistry, to produce easy drinking, clean, nice, smooth wines, which you can do with when you cool down the fermentation, where your cellar is clean, where you check all the details along the way, because the base point is that for me, from vineyard to the glass, there are 1,000 different decisions that you can make. For some of them, you have to have knowledge. For others, you have to have money. So your prices needs to be high. But the fact is, you need to try to fulfill positively most of them. And then you have a good result in the glass.
Sure, and that's what you do.
That's what I'm trying to do. It's still a long way ahead. There are still a lot of decisions that I want to do. There are still, you know, I know what to change and with next harvests and then the next years. But let's say that I'll keep on trying. That I can promise to you, Beata.
Sure, thank you. On my and others' behalf as well from Poland.
Yeah.
So tell us now something a little bit more about your vineyard in Goriška Brda, how it started, what was the decision behind it, and what is also, that's one of the important questions and interesting for everybody, what is behind the fish on the label? Why fish?
Very shortly. So the decision was taken like already 15 years ago. I always wanted to have my own label, you know, and due to the fact that as a family we don't own any vineyard, the only chance for me to start with my own wines is to do like kind of negociant business model. And I started slowly 15 years ago when I was 25 years old at that time, with some famous winemakers like Primož Lovrencic, Marjana Simcica, Edi Simcic. And then I did change a bit my idea in 2012, and I start kind of partnership with Klet Brda, which is actually cooperative. And we really defined my idea how to work in the vineyard, how to work in the cellar, and what kind of style at the end we want to have in the glass. And this started really slow with like first 4 different wines in 2013 released, which was all of them bottled 3,000 bottles each. So 12,000 bottles was the beginning, which we grow to let's say around 200,000 bottles last year.
Wow.
The point is that my first idea was to have good quality price ratio. That was the fact. Due to the fact that I don't have vineyards, I can impact on where we source fruit, how we treat vines, how we do system in the cellar, what is the temperature of fermentation, do we use stainless steel and things like this, and of course the most important, what kind of style do we need to have in the glass. And it's working well. Maybe it's now the moment to buy some vineyard, so I'm in that phase. In the future probably you should get in Poland some wines from own vineyards, but still continuing this work with Klet Brda, which you know, it's obviously successful.
So Gašper, maybe we could you say something about the specific grape varieties you are growing, and why you chose those, and maybe we could jump slowly to tasting.
To the wines. Good. So let's maybe start explanation with Chardonnay Rebula blend, which is in my glass. So I wanted to show to the world, also in yours, cheers again. I wanted to show to the world easy drinking style of Rebula. But because you need also to consider that you need to sell those bottles abroad, back in 2013, the idea to have 100% Rebula in the bottle, today it would be differently, definitely, but 7 years ago, to have 100% Rebula and try to export and put in the Michelin star restaurant bars around the world was for me too brave idea. So I was searching for a perfect blend of Rebula. And what we do here, I believe Rebula and Chardonnay are a great match, because you have body from Chardonnay, you have that nice green fruit aromas, a bit citrusy, and then you have this minerality of Rebula. Rebula in combination with Opoka soil, which is sandstone marl in Goriška Brda, always give you this nice salty touch on the palate. And that's why here we use 55% of Chardonnay and 45% of Rebula, always stainless steel, always chilled fermentation to 12 to 14 degrees, and always on lees. Depend on the vintage, we normally release these wines after 6 to 9 months. depending on the vintage. So it's quite fast on the market. But lees, if you have nice fine lees, it's really shame not to use that.
Sure.
Because it protects wines and they give some nice oily texture on the palate.
All right, let's try.
You see that green apple, lime, lemon, bit of pear, nice acidity.
But also very nice acidity, nice, nice, I would say, green fruits, but also some minerality, definitely.
That's the Rebula. That's a Rebula, or how we call it, Rebula.
Yeah. So, great wine. What would you suggest as a food pairing to this wine? What would be a typical combination?
So, seafood, definitely. You can use roast scampi, you can use some nice fresh shells, you can use some nice white fish, veggie dishes, and maybe white meat. That's but seafood, because for me, when I, as a sommelier, try to combine food and wine, when you try to find the great match to fish, you need to find wine that's not over aromatic, that's not over complex, the wine that supports that gentleness of fish. And normally, that iodium saltiness in the fish really nice combines with minerality in the wine. So that's why I found this as a great match.
That's absolutely great. I would also agree with you. Unfortunately, we suffer a little bit in Poland still from lack of good seafood restaurants, but it is changing very, very quickly.
Okay.
And so a lot of people also at home eat more and more fish, and also various types of seafood, like shrimps, of course, but also octopus, for example. Mules of various kinds.
Okay.
So I think it's also time and a perfect match to match that with Chardonnay Rebula.
Yeah, or to have it as an aperitif, nicely chilled. It's a great aperitif.
Great, of course. And what about another wine which is also very, very interesting and a great variety, which also combine a lot with Balkan countries and also Slovenia. I'm thinking, of course, about Malvasia now. And Malvasia is also one of the varieties which is, I think, one of your favorites, and also which is a very good and very special in your vineyard.
Exactly. Malvasia, that's this bottle with a different character of fish on it, as you can see. When I was going around the vineyards with my friends from Klitbarda, we found these 3 vineyards in the upper position, so around 200 meters above sea level in Goriška Brda. Because just to mention 3 most important things why Goriška Brda are a great wine area. First of all, because of opoka soil, which allows roots to penetrate really deep. When you have vineyard all like this, 30 years, roots penetrate around 10 to 12 meters deep, which is remarkable. The second point of Goriška Brda, the positive point of Goriška Brda, is the position. So we have on one side 35 kilometers to the sea, to the Adriatic Sea, so you have this Mediterranean influence from the sea, but also 25 kilometers on the opposite side, you have Alps. So you have this cold breeze from the Alps, and that's why when you mention nice acidity, which are the Rebula, it comes from that cool breeze during the night. And also the third point is the position, the hills position. So we can have really nice micro locations and different altitude. It can go from 60 to 230 meters. And with global warming, we try now to search higher position vineyard. And this one comes from a higher 180 to 200 meters above sea level. And Malvasia is a wine that is a variety. It's really to eat fruit in the vineyard before the harvest, for me, the best. And as a variety, I love it because it's very gentle, very feminine, very, very delicate, floral combination with fruit character. And this is actually the clone of Malvasia istriana, which grows in Goriška Brda, Istria, Vipava Valley, and also in Croatian part of Istria.
Okay.
Nothing to do in common with Malvasia from Spain, used for Rioja Blanca, or Malvasia from Sicily, Pantelleria, or from Greece. So a very particular variety.
Very particular.
Let me try.
Let's try. Sure.
We have 2017 Malvasia in the glass.
Okay, let's feel the aromas.
You see that nice floral touch?
Yes, white flowers, I would say, a little bit like
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Chamomile as well.
Chamomile. Mm-hmm.
A bit herbal, a bit sage, rosemary. And on the palate, you will see a bit more power than Chardonnay Rebula, more length, more strength. The yields are the yields are very oily. Yeah, the yields are naturally low. So we have here around 40 to 45 hectoliters per hectare, and we always release Malvasia 1 year after the harvest. Commercial view from many of colleagues is to release it in May after the harvest. But me, as this fruit is really beautiful, I want to keep on lease for 1 year.
Okay,
that was the idea.
So you release,
1 full year.
Release it next
September, October. Yeah, exactly. Okay,
great. So here, what would you suggest to pair it with?
Again, seafood. The Malvasia is the best match for seafood. Very good with some, let's say, veggie herbal dishes, like in the restaurant, some nice starters, cold or warm starters, where you have some, I don't know, not asparagus. Asparagus I would always match with Sauvignon Blanc, but when you have some zucchini, cottage cheese, herbal dish, this is perfect.
Great. Yeah, I would match it with some light cheeses. You're right. Cottage cheese, goat cheese maybe as well.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, it suits perfectly, and maybe some walnuts and maybe some pear on the side. It's like, for me, that sounds very like fun. Maybe even for tonight.
That is a good plan. That is a good plan. Here, a beautiful pear. Yeah, you mentioned very well.
Okay, cheers again.
Cheers, Beata.
Everybody who joined us tonight. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, Gašper. So it's time, I think, to tell everybody a bit about your great success, not only on the Slovenian market with your wines, but on the international markets. Your wine are present now in many countries around Europe, for sure. I know that UK is a very important market for you.
Definitely.
Your wines are served in Gordon Ramsay's restaurant.
Yes, including Petrus, which is 2 Michelin star, I believe. Chiltern Firehouse in UK, which is two Michelin stars as well. They poured Malvasia by the glass for a long time. One of my favorite London hotel, if you will travel, the Edition in Soho, where they have in the moment the best young world sommelier in charge as a wine buyer and sommelier, Matteo Montone. Matteo had Malvasia, this one which we just tried, in his restaurant by the glass for 1 year, which was incredible. So also Café Royal, Dorchester Hotel, China Tank, they were the first client actually. So to have great success in UK, I'm really glad about, because everybody wants to be in UK, that's for sure. Every winemaker or wine owner or wine brand in the world wants to be present in UK, and it's really tough market. But what I love with London market is that it's a very high knowledge of the wine buyers, sommeliers, also clients, of course. And for them, what's important is what's in the glass.
Sure.
You know, it's easy to sell Burgundy, it's easy to sell Bordeaux, it's easy to sell Tuscany. It's not easy to sell Slovenian wine, that's the fact.
Absolutely. But there's no brand, let's say, no history, no popularity behind it.
No popularity, but in the glass.
But this speaks for it, yeah?
This speaks for it, and I'm glad that people in London, they want to hear what glass speaks for them.
All right.
And that's why I'm glad that then when they love it, they have guts to put it by the glass.
Sure.
which is again not easy. And that's why I'm really honored, you know, also for all of you guys in Poland, that you do the same, and that every sommelier, when they put by the glass, I'm really honored that people does it, because it's not easy. That's the fact. But what I'm sure is that in glass we perform well.
Yeah, exactly. I think the quality speaks for it, but sure, of course, there's a lot of work in front of us, in front of importers, distributors, when we introduce a new, let's say, variety, a new winery, a new country to the market, which has no history, no popularity. Of course, there's always a lot of work which we have to do to convince customers. But with the quality that is in the glass and your person who stands behind, it's I would say it's easier to convince the consumers. But of course, always it's not a Pinot Grigio from Veneto, or it's not a, for example, the beloved
Prosecco.
Of course, which sells.
Of course. Of course.
Okay, Gašper, that's great. That's really a story of success, I would say. And the names of the restaurants, the names of the places in London that you mentioned, they really speak for themselves. And it's really a great reference for us to talk about your wines, great reference for the customers. Because if they hear names like that, it's not a coincidence. Yes, it's not just one, but there is, let's say, 10 or 20 of them. You are in Michelin stars in London, so for sure this speaks for the wines, and this speaks for the person, for the winemaker who is behind it. So great, thank you for that. And after this live, I think it's gonna be easier to promote your wines on the Polish market.
But you know, I'm honored for any place. You know, I'm honored if pub puts this by the glass. You can have some great pubs that serves easy but good food, you know. And of course, the Michelin star restaurants are the highest honor that you can get, because everybody wants to be there, and all the samples of the world they have. But really, any place around the world, you know, that serves wine with a fish on the label, it's really helping me and making me quite happy.
Absolutely.
We just got an order for 2 boxes, I see, from Addicted to Good Food. That's good. Me, I'm addicted to good food as well.
Addicted to good food, we know. Oh, of course, 2 boxes will be sent to you on Monday.
That is great.
Right after the weekend. Okay, to make it even more exciting for everybody, say that it's not just the 2, 3 Michelin star restaurants that your wines are present in, but also the Decanter organization, the Decanter World Awards, have awarded you your wine with some very important prizes, very important medals.
Yeah.
And here, please be open, straightforward, and tell us which of your wines have won what Decanter medal.
The Decanter really surprised me every year so positively that I was like in the edge of tears almost, because the Malvasia that we tried just recently, the 17, got 92 points on Decanter. The Pinot Grigio, for example, 17 year ago, got 96 points. It was a gold medal for entry-level wine, which was a great success. And after that, and after a few years of bronzes, silvers, and golds, I was, and to be as a young brand since 2013, I said, like, okay, now it's fair if we don't get anything in the future years. I will not be disappointed. We'll work hard, but you know, that's fair. And then last year suddenly came the highest award that I received for this wine, which is Cab Franc 2017, and that was awarded with 97 points, which was platinum medal, and actually the first platinum medal for red Slovenian wine in the Decanter World Wine Awards. And you know, if you imagine that to get platinum on Decanter, first you need to survive, let's say survive, first table of 4 judges, which if they decided that it's worth of gold, they put to another table where head of tables, head of Burgundy, head of Bordeaux, head of Tuscany, taste all the gold medals, and then they decide whether it's platinum or whether it's gold. And then they decided to be platinum. You go to a third table where just 3 most important tasters of the Decanter World Wine Awards, they taste and confirm. So it's no coincidence, and to have Cab Franc, first vintage, first time sent to the country in '97 was for me, unimaginable.
Unimaginable, I would say. It's really, really, well, no words actually.
Yeah, when I find out, I was in Bordeaux at that time.
It's absolutely something very, very, I would say, surprising, but again, it's a proof of the quality and probably the feeling, I would say, intuition of a winemaker which you represent. This shows how great winemaker you are, Gašper.
But the point is that it was about the decision which red wine to present, because an enologist who is behind the wines is Darinko Rivolica, but me as a person that decides what to do in the future, and when I tried to convince him that we should do 100% Cabernet Franc on the way that I wanted, so low yields, not extended maceration, just 9 days, a bit cooled maceration, new oak barrels, not 225 but 350, but the best possible oak. So all these things, he was like very skeptic at the beginning. I said, like, he said, there is no huge history of Cab Franc in Brda. There is no popularity of Cab Franc, and he said, I don't think the people will drink it. I said, okay, all of what you said is right, but things changed. With global warming, things changed a lot. And in the moment, I'm sure that Cab Franc is the variety for Brda. And, that 97 points, it was a great news, and it was confirmation that I decided right.
Absolutely.
And we are launching in 1 month, vintage 18, which is at least one level up than 17. Which is great wine, better wine, because of the better vintage, which was 18. 17 was difficult vintage.
Gašper, I would like to officially order already the Cab Franc for Wine Avenue and for Poland. It's time we include it in our portfolio and we present it to the Polish customers, okay?
Yeah, for me,
with the platinum of decanter.
My heart is breaking because only me out of us two can taste this one, but if you allow me, I will have a sip.
Send me and tell me what you have in the bottle. Tell us.
On Monday, Beata, I will send you a sample of 17, and immediately when I have 18, I will send you a sample of that as well.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
But I will put an allocation for you of Franc, but you need to taste and confirm. I wanted to hear your opinion.
I will, for sure. Tell us what you have in the glass now.
The point is, Cab Franc, the homeland, definitely Loire Valley. You have good Cab Francs from Tuscany. You have great ones also from Hungary, in area around us, Bordeaux, definitely, and many other places. But here, it's a combination of, on one side, Loire, which can be sometimes greenish. The best Cab Franc which I ever tasted in my whole life was Clos Rougeard from Loire, which now becomes extremely expensive. But it was in 2012 when I tasted that wine and I fell in love. And that is the benchmark. But still, we want to follow that Loire Valley style, but have that complexity of Brda. But just to work on elegancy, not muscles, not overripe fruit, not extended maceration, just pure elegancy, nice aroma of green herbal, of red fruit, with nice acidity, smooth tannins. That's why I love this variety. And it's very hard not to stop to drink it. That's the dangers with this wine.
Be careful tonight, and I'm waiting for next week to be able to taste it.
Yeah.
Gašper, I think we've said in this short conversation, of course, we could talk about what you're doing for many more hours, for sure. But I would like to ask you also about another very, very famous Slovenian winemaker, whom we also represent in Poland, and who I know is also a very close friend of yours. I'm thinking of Marjana Simcica.
Exactly.
Tell us something about Marjan, about what he's doing, and what are his most famous wines. And let's taste one of them, maybe for the end, which is we have
Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Grigio. Yes.
CB Pinot 2018. Marjana Simcica, just to make the story short, he is definitely in the moment #1 Slovenian winemaker. He has great success all around the world, exporting to 42 different countries. My dear friend, I'm a godfather to his son Leonardo, so we are by family, very linked, and the passion that he have by the wine, to the wine, really, and combined with mine, makes us to drink and open fantastic bottles to discuss late in the night what could be improved, what should we do in future, how to make the details better. And really, I love his work. I love his wines. I respect him a lot. This Pinot Grigio that we taste, it's totally different than commercially famous Pinot Grigio from Veneto. Just check the color.
And the color, exactly. I wanted to say it's pinkish.
But the fruit.
A little bit like rosé, I would say.
Yeah, but the fruit of Pinot Grigio is pinkish.
Yeah, grayish, pinkish. Yeah. It's
and the commercially famous style is pale water white color, no flavors, boring on the palate, and I really hate that.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe what we do here with Pinot Grigio, people in Goriška Brda, we do the style that made Veneto famous. In the past, 50 years ago, Pinot Grigio from Veneto wasn't pale water white. And with all the respect to the guys, I love winemakers from Veneto as well. But if we speak generally about the style, this was the style. And to have this earthiness, mushroomy flavors, combine it on these aging. Normally, it's not in wood; it's stainless steel fermented, but it's really a great variety. And this is the style that made in United States Pinot Grigio the #1 selling white variety.
I see.
So
that's the style. This is the style.
This is the style, I believe. Yeah. With commercialization changed, of course, because they need to reduce price and to be on the shelf in US. Yeah. You need to have higher yields. You need to release earlier, and all these things. But Marjan follows the ideal version of Pinot Grigio, right. All times.
Okay, so two greatest ambassadors, wine ambassadors from Slovenia. Gašper Čarman has been our guest tonight. Marjana Simcica, his close friend. We are really proud and happy to have you both in our portfolio. Thank you for this, and I promise we will do everything, to make your wines loved and popular in Poland.
Beata, you are doing a lot already. So, and we are now working for 3-4 years already, or 5 years, I don't know. And I really respect what you do. The fair, the last time I was there, showed your well organized team, and I send my warmest regards to all the team of Wine Avenue. And thank you for all the support, and for all the support of sommeliers, restaurant owners, private clients, the support of Matthias, who was the one that connected us.
Let's say hi to Matthias Glusman.
Matthias Glusman, my how you call it, my buddy from Master of Wine study. We both studied and we both didn't finish. So maybe.
Okay.
One day we will.
You have to do it one day.
Yeah, let's say like this. Yeah. We would love to, probably. And really, thank you for everything, and welcome in Slovenia when the borders will open, when the flights will be again available. So your clients, your team are really very warm welcome.
To visit Ljubljana, visit Goriška Brda, and see with our own eyes the beauty of the country, and taste in the vineyard the great wines you are making. Thank you so much for tonight, Gašper.
Thank you.
We are really happy to work with you. All the best to you, to your team, and say hi to Marjana as well.
I will, Beata, and all the best to you and your team and your family. Ciao.
Dziękuję wszystkim, którzy byli z nami. Do zobaczenia za tydzień. Pozdrawiamy i pijcie słoweńskie wina.